What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Jae Lee Show. Today, we are in Lower East Side, right underneath East Village in Manhattan, New York City. So we're visiting a restaurant today called 63 Clinton. They got a Michelin star, which is really cool. I believe they're tasting menu only, which is very interesting. I've never owned a tasting menu restaurant. I've worked in tasting menu only restaurants before. I want to pick his brain and see how that's going for him because it's a whole different ball game. He's not from here. He's from Phoenix, I believe. Him and his friend Sam, they partnered up, and I want to see how they're doing. Working in a restaurant and then owning and operating a restaurant is very different, and working with your best friend is very different. I want to know how they're doing it, if it's working out well for them. I mean, from the outside, it definitely looks like it is, right? And you know what's really interesting about Ray is that he runs like marathons and he bikes hundreds of miles, and he does all this while operating a restaurant. Everyone says if you own a restaurant, you can't take care of your health, but obviously Ray is a great example that you can. I want to know how he does it and if he actually feels healthy, because I'm tired when I look at his Strava. I'm like, bro, you biked 50 miles before your Friday night shift? Bro, I'm tired just looking at that. So let's get to it, guys. 63 Clinton and the Lower East Side. Let's go.
The Choco Taco, kind of like a thing of like nostalgia. I think it was a lot of our like childhood memories of eating food, something I loved, and it kind of like ties our story back in from the beginning. The first course or first or second course that you get here is our breakfast taco. Sam had the idea of like, hey, let's do a Choco Taco. There's graham cracker ice cream or semi-Fredo in the center with lime gelée, and then graham cracker on the outside. It's dipped into a caramelized brown butter chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a key lime pie flavors and idea.
Okay.
So let's see your first impressions.
Bro, that's so good. Oh my gosh.
Not too sweet, you know.
No, that's legit delicious.
Yeah. And luckily, I just pulled it out of the freezer, and I was worried. I was gonna say, is it too cold? But that semi-Fredo is right.
Yo, this is one of the best things I've had, because it's like it's so comforting.
Yeah.
Yet it's done so well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you saw a chef over there making all those the waffle cones or the taco shells in there. It's a labor of love, dude, you know? Everything is.
Bro, thank you. I appreciate it. Guys,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm tasting the one course, the dessert, and it's incredible. So if dessert's this good, imagine how good everything else is. Ray, my man.
What's going on, man?
Bro, hold up a second, man.
Stop.
All this, bro.
Stop.
Man.
Stop. I remember when we used to work together, man. You were everything. You know?
2011.
2012.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's a long time ago. 15
For sure.
years? I think I was like 24 or like 20, 25 at the time.
Same.
Yeah. And then you just mentioned you're 39 now.
Yeah.
Bro, what happened?
I'm getting old, bro. I don't know. A lot of gray hairs. You're looking good though.
No, but that's a look though. Look, hold on. If you look closely, I'm kind of.
You're starting to get it.
Yeah.
You're starting to get some of the salt in there.
I didn't think that I had white hair. And my barber was cutting my hair. He's like, yeah, you're getting a lot of white hair. I'm like, bro, stop. I'm like, you're lying to me. He's like, no, I'm serious, bro. I'm not joking.
It's about time though, right?
Yeah. But I don't mind it. I think it's a sign of like maturity and
I think so too.
some wisdom.
I don't know about the wisdom. I think it's just maturity, man. And you just said, what, your girl's 15 months, bro?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look at you next year. It's gonna be great. You're gonna get the sides.
I know, man.
Thing.
Oh my God.
So what from 15 months to 15 years ago?
Wow. Look at the alignment of that.
Yeah, a lot of change.
15.
Yeah, a lot of change.
A lot. And I'm very curious because, I mean, back then we were working hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Man.
Working 6 days.
6 days, 90 hours a week.
90 hours a week. I think people might think that's like over exaggerating.
Oh, no.
It's literally 90 hours a week, right?
It was plus sometimes. Because we also used to come in on the Sundays.
Yeah.
And like our day off, dude.
But I never came in on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I know Sam did to make the chocolate bonbons.
Yeah, we
and
like,
I'm like, Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. I remember like I would throw like laundry in, take it to the lady at the end of the block, take my week's worth of laundry, go to work that day on the day off just to make sure prep was okay, see if Sam was okay, everything. And then like come back, it was like shorter days. Even on our day off, it was still a short day. It was still like 5-6 hours.
So
right?
people watching right now, we're talking about Chef's Table Brooklyn Fare.
Yeah, can we
the
say
OG?
Yeah, the OG. Can we say these words anymore? I don't know. There's a lot of drama there.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think it's fine.
I don't know if we have to blur it out or
not. Did that shape you into who you are today?
Oh,
I'm curious.
100%, man. It's a lot of, it's a mixed bag. We came from the same cloth in this one. It was a mixed bag. There's a lot of good times. There's a lot of like harsh times, right? The harder times of working the crazy hours and the stress and the performative kind of thing of it, of just like, you have to be on. There's no like, you can't mess up a dinner, And so bring your A game every single night. And as we were just mentioning, 90 hours a week?
Bro.
Like, how do you sustain that?
How did you sustain that?
I don't know. That was a blur, from 15 months to 15 years, man. Like 15 years ago, I don't know if I could do it these days.
No, I don't think so.
The stress, the work hours, trying to find a balance of life these days is maybe just a little bit easier. Though being business owners, right? It's really tough to find that balance. But I think we're in a better position to actually these days. But years ago, man, we had to survive, and it was like the grit of it, showing up, performing, doing the thing, rinse and repeat, every day.
Okay, so now how did you get to opening up 63 Clinton? Like, did you plan on opening up a restaurant?
Not really, man. I mean, unfortunately during the pandemic, a lot of restaurants closed. A lot of the restaurants in the city were shut down. There's nothing going on. And Sam and I were kind of in this like middle ground of, what do we do? This is the first time that I've had some time off during the restaurant season, of being able to just kind of figure out what I'm doing in life. I think ultimately we discussed it together and said, if the restaurants start to open back up during the pandemic, whether it's 25% occupancy, 50%, they're gonna start to open up sooner or later. It's either we go back to working for somebody else and we'll always be just like a number in the system, or we can open up our own business. And what does that look like, right? I think we've had the time together. Sam and I now to this day, it's been like 17 years working together.
Yeah.
So, it's like, okay, what would we have done? I've always wanted to be a business owner. I've always wanted to be my own boss and do things the way we want to do things. When you work with great chefs, they teach you a lot of things, but it's always their rules. It's always their style of food and ambiance and everything else. And that's where I was like, man, if we open a business, we can do whatever we want now. We can take all the things that we learned and utilize that, and then leave all the stuff that we didn't love working in restaurants, working with different chefs and owners. We can leave all that behind and create something that we have a vision for, And I kind of talk about that to all of our current employees too. They're going to move on. They're going to open great restaurants one day. And I hope they take all the good things that we've shown them and taught them, and then leave all the things they didn't love working with us about just behind. I think it's just good mentorship, man. Like I want them to be a better restaurant owner, better chef, better hospitality professional than I am. And those are the things that we have to teach them. But yeah, ultimately, so we ended up opening a restaurant. I said, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's find some money, first of all, which is not easy to do in the city. It's very expensive to open a restaurant, or multiple restaurants, as you know. And we just kind of put it together. I was Googling everything.
Whoa.
ChatGPT didn't exist back then. I couldn't just but it was like a lot of like Googling, a lot of Reddit, a lot of like how to become a business owner. What do you need to do? What are the steps to like create a business in New York City?
So you raised all the money to open this?
We did that together with a group of investors.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was such like a moment of like, yeah, sure, you work in restaurants, they're going to teach you how to cook, they're going to teach you about wine and serve, but no one teaches you this back end of what it's like to be a business owner.
Yeah.
And this is now, I feel like, what I've unlocked in the things that I haven't known, and what I've been looking for. It's like, cool, now this is another set of challenges and problems and all these other things that again, as a cook, you don't have to worry about.
What's one thing when you opened the restaurant that you highly underestimated?
The constant fear of everything, man. You know, it's not
Wait a
just,
minute, is this why you run 20 miles a day?
yeah,
You gotta clear your mind.
I run from my problems, man. You know, I think that's like, it's a good way to like de-stress. But I feel that constant stress all the time now
Yeah.
about, you know, making sure that the employees are okay, that they're being paid well, that their families are all right. Make sure the produce shipment's getting here on time. We're being able to pay rent or pay some of our health insurance for our team, which we started doing since we got our Michelin star. It was one big
nice.
feat for us to give everyone health insurance.
Mm.
And that was such a big thing. And unfortunately this year, the policy started changing. I think it went up something like 9-10%, which is crazy.
That's on the low end, bro.
Yeah, that's on the low end, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh my
us paying
God.
that for 16, 17 employees
Yeah,
was,
it's a
it
lot.
started to
It's a lot.
feel
Yeah.
cumbersome. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is wild. So we do still take a vast majority of our payment from our team. We'll pay that out for them. And they're still paying just a little bit, but they have great health insurance. So
Nice.
it's something that we
That's
want to give
huge.
back to our community and be able to like
Yeah.
help out. But this year's been a struggle, man. You know,
Really?
like it's everything's going up in price. You know, talk about inflation, but you know, last year was the cost of eggs going up. Sure, whatever. But every year it gets more and more expensive. Everything, right?
Yeah.
From employees to rent to insurance, not just health insurance, but insurance for the building and the space. Everything goes up in price.
Yeah.
And the moment you change your menu's price, the guests start asking why.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Where, you
Yeah.
know, we try to be transparent about it. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you know, things go up in price, but people don't always see that. And we know how razor thin these margins are
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be successful in this business. You know, it's tough.
It is tough. And when you first opened, were you a tasting menu only or?
Yeah, since we opened and
Oh,
still are.
okay.
I won't change it. I love it. I know there's a lot of debate of whether that's like the old guard and whether people still love a tasting menu or it's just played out. And I'm always with it. I love to like sit down at a restaurant, curate the experience. I'm gonna sit down, feed me. I want to see your vision of it. You know, I don't go to a movie and expect it to show up the way I want it to be.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go to a movie and just sit back and relax and let it unfold, let the story be told. And I think that's a good way to experience food.
That's a great point. So what are the challenges of like being a tasting menu only restaurant? Like compared to like other traditional restaurants where it's a la carte?
Yeah, I mean, you can only come so many times. My jokes only get so funny, you know? I mean, you can't come back-to-back weeks. You can try it out. If you love the menu that much, or if you had a different friend or set of friends that want to come see it, you could definitely make that happen. But it becomes a little bit more seasonal. You wait for the changes to happen. You wait for the food or the beverage menus to evolve into the next season. And I think that's okay. You know, a lot of our guests show up, you know, 4 or 5 times a year, which, you know, they'll hit seasonals, they'll hit some of our collaboration restaurants that come in to work with us, you know, hopefully get to do one with you.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, so that's like a good amount of time to visit a restaurant. I personally, it's even hard for me to go to a restaurant 5 times in a year, the same one, you know, as much as I love these restaurants. There's so many restaurants in the city.
So many,
right?
It's never ending.
Never
The list never stops.
Yeah, never stops, man. It's every week there's something new, or your friends open a new place. You gotta come see us. You gotta come see it. It's like, yeah, man, I got to, but you know, there's having, for me, that disconnection of life. You know, that's why I also run and cycle and do all this stuff to kind of get away from the industry, and then trying to find like the time and the moment to be able to like go out and dissociate from it, right? Does this happen to you when you go to a restaurant? And can you turn it off, or are you like?
No, I can't.
Right?
I can't.
You're kind of looking, whether you say anything or
Yeah.
not, whether the dish, I don't know how much you would actually tell somebody that like you love a dish or whatever, but I'm watching, man. I'm
all
like,
the time.
you know, like what are they doing?
And even if I'm not like trying to take it in, it just comes in.
Yeah, it just comes in.
It just comes in. I'm like, oh man.
It just comes in, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
It's osmosis, baby.
Yeah, it kind of is. Just absorb it.
Yeah,
you
you're just
know?
absorbing
And
it.
again, the things that I wouldn't do, the things that I
Yeah.
would do, right?
Yeah.
I remember I was at Nathan's Hot Dogs in Coney Island.
Yeah.
And their expo system is absolute garbage. I hope they watch this so they actually take a note here.
Yeah.
That the cashier is the person also making your food. And I'm like, how?
Wait,
how
I think you're right. Yeah.
backwards is this?
Yeah.
Right? That they take your order, they'll go back there, put gloves on, I hope, and they'll start dressing like some dogs and stuff. for
Yeah.
you. And I'm like, wait, no, we have
That's so dumb.
That's
so dumb.
We have systems like this for a reason because it just
Yeah.
helps expedite, right?
Yeah.
But I can't turn it off, man. From high end to low ends, it's things that we just watch, and again, I rarely would ever say anything to anybody about how they run a business or how to raise their kids. Any of that.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not my business, but I
Yeah.
will still watch, and I'm like, okay,
All right. What's it like working with your best friend?
whoa.
Or, I mean, not just working, but
Yeah.
owning a business together.
Yeah.
That's a whole different game.
It's kind of amazing, man.
Oh, wow,
I think
okay.
when you do hard things in life, it's easier to do them with people you care about, right? I mean, we've had a lot of struggles. I think through and through since we've started this project from day one of thinking about the idea to even this week, of just things happening. But it's always good to know you got each other's backs, right? Hard conversations, you always have to believe that they're with you on it. You can disagree, but you have to have the right intentions, right? And I always believe that he has the right intention to do what's right for our business.
Yeah.
Even for himself, we should fight for ourselves a lot too. And if he really is adamantly strong about some opinion, I'll have to believe him, man. It never comes from ill will, it never comes from a bad place. It just says like, this is what I need. And I think that's just having good communication and good relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
He's easy to talk to for me, just about what I need out of the business and what he needs. And it's a good relationship, though. It's hard to sometimes work with people like that. I don't know if I could work with family, man. I don't know if I could ever.
I actually work with my family. My cousin. He just joined. We've worked on and off together, and he does like more front of the house stuff.
Okay.
And
how's it been?
So I mean, we know each other so well. I think that's the biggest benefit is that I know him really well and he knows me really well. So then there's trust. There's trust.
Trust is a big one.
And even if I don't agree with something that he wants to do, like I'll hear him out and then I'll be like, all right, you know what? Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
It's been good in that sense.
Okay.
But give me an example though, if you can share, if you don't mind, of like an instance where you and Sam didn't agree on something. And you guys had to come to a conclusion. Give us an example of that.
A big one was deciding the name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
That's not nothing of
It's like
a
naming a
restaurant.
child.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's exactly that. And I don't want to ask you about how you named your child. Yeah, I don't want to open that can. But that became a big thing. It was just, we had it on the back burner. We decided to start building a restaurant, doing all this space. We have an LLC name, and then it was time to open the restaurant. I think we were like 2 months out of like official opening date. And we're like, what are we going to call the space?
Oh, wow.
Right? Because we had so many different names and ideas. We didn't really know the concept yet. We had a good idea of what we're cooking and everything. But how was that going to portray? And it's like small business, man. We were just shooting from the hip a lot. We're just like, okay, give us a problem. We're going to figure it out and just knock it out one by one. And this kind of problem, this sort of, let's figure out what we're going to name it, just kept getting pushed back. And to the point where our designers need to know what it was.
Yeah.
What are we going to label this? We needed to do emails.
Yeah.
We needed to
Your IG,
everything,
website,
right? And it
everything,
became like, okay, now a roadblock, right? Because you just keep pushing until you get to a stopping point, a dam, and then everything stops. And you have to figure out one problem. And then after that, it releases. And then it goes down and down and down until another stoppage, right? And this was a thing of like sitting here for like, I think we locked ourselves in this room. I think we got like a 6-pack of White Claws, bottle of champagne, and we were just like sitting here. We're not going to leave until we figure this out.
Did you have names in mind? And
we did a couple different names, but again, it was like, what kind of concept? What are we going to cook here? And we ultimately decided 63 Clinton as the name of the space, right? I was against it because I was like, all right, everyone's doing that. 1 White Street just opened. They're on 1 White Street. 11 Madison Park just opened. 15 West, 15 East, whatever it is. But it's like, okay, it's not a thing to name your restaurant after your space. But I think we both agreed to have something ambiguous for the name. It wasn't about Sam. It wasn't about me. We didn't want to put our names on the door. It was just like Sam and Ray's restaurant, whatever. It's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we ended up with 63 Clinton because it was ambiguous. It didn't say it was a Japanese restaurant. It wasn't a French restaurant. It wasn't any kind of restaurant. It was a space for us to curate like what we want to do, food-wise, hospitality-wise. It's not quite fine dining, but it's still elevated for the neighborhood. So it started checking all these boxes, and I was like, okay, it kind of has a ring to it. I don't know how I feel about it. Let's sleep on it. We both kind of agreed this is probably the best bet for us, right? And ultimately, you know, I think I woke up the next morning feeling good about it. Just texted him. I was like, dude, let's just go for it. This is the one, right? And he agreed. But for a long time, it was just kind of like, what are we going to name it? I don't love your decisions. You don't, you know, you have to feel each other out. And it was the same with like painting the walls and whatever. I don't know if they can see this, whatever wall colors these are, you know, but it's the same thing. Just
these are
things,
decisions,
you know?
man.
Decisions, man,
yeah.
right? Design decisions that are so small, but mean so much. They're impactful.
Wow, dude. I mean, because when I was opening up Brooklyn, and I own it myself, so I just make decision, and I don't have to really like. But to me, it's like having to decide with someone on everything. It just sounds.
It's a lot.
Like stress.
It is stress. It is stress.
But not in a bad way. I mean, you're doing things together, right? And ultimately, you're building something together. So it's like it's a partnership.
Was that the same thing as like naming the kid, or what?
Oh no, for me, okay. So naming the kid, we had a few names in mind.
Yeah.
It was simple. We're like, we don't want like a name with like 10 syllables.
Sure.
Like, let's keep it simple, 2 syllables.
Yeah.
We landed on 2 names.
Okay.
It was Harper or Mila.
Cute.
Very cute, right? Yeah. We thought about it. I'm like, we have to think practical, right?
Sure.
Our parents can't speak English very well.
Oh.
So Harper will sound like hot pot. Yeah. Well, hot pot, we're like, no, we can't do that. Mila's like so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to pronounce for Korean parents.
Yeah.
And for Chinese parents, no problem. Mila.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we landed. Yeah.
See, that's like practical like reasoning and thinking, and just like, okay, let's throw it out there. Let's figure out what's best for like all these things, even auxiliary things that, you know, like when you think about like how Asian parents are going to pronounce it, you know, like those are the small details that matter though.
Yeah,
you know?
No, for sure. So how do you split your responsibilities? Like Sam, obviously, he's a very talented chef.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're talented yourself in the kitchen as well.
I'm done with that, man. I'm done with those days. I'm done with those days, man. I think even these days, I'll help in there. I'll do expo a lot when we're down. You know, Sam's dedicated kitchen, though. Sam's great in service too. You know, I think he ended up his days at chef's table, helping with service.
Yeah,
you know? And
for
so
sure.
He learned a lot of like the basics of like really fine dining.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why we connect a lot too, because we've both done a little bit of both sides.
Yeah.
Right. And when you trust that the other person like knows what they're talking about and what they're doing, it just works out. Because there's a lot of like service points that Sam will like say like, maybe we should try this or do this, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, you know. And same with like working in the kitchen, I'll be able to come in there and have ideas like maybe we're doing this on the menu, or we should change this, or maybe this will help the flow of the menu coursing and ordering, you know. And so it's nice to be able to do everything, man, you know, like between the two of us.
Yeah.
And so he's for sure dedicated kitchen. He still has a lot of input of service aspects, and vice versa. I'm more front of house, watching a lot of the business side of it. I'm still here every night for service.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
man, okay.
So getting to work the floor and meeting our guests and seeing our regulars and stuff, which is why I absolutely love what we do for industry, you know?
Yeah.
It's not always just the food, man. It's the people, you know, the people that we get to work with, but also the people that we get to take care of at the end of the night, you know?
And how many years did it take to get the Michelin star?
You know, the first year was kind of question marks for me, because we opened in 2021. In that year, Michelin didn't remove anybody or add anybody to the Michelin guide. So no one lost stars, or no one gained stars.
Were they just trying to be fair? Like,
I think so. Because like a lot of times they weren't open for the allotted amount of time for Michelin. I forget however many months out of the year a restaurant has to be open to be able to be accepting of a 1-star.
Yeah.
And they put us in the guide, but they didn't put us as a star.
Oh, okay.
As I was kind of,
You're pissed.
I was like, what is this, man? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we only opened like 6 months before,
Yeah.
and it was kind of a nice tell, but it wasn't anything. We're too expensive for a Bib Gourmand. This restaurant isn't set to be a 2-star or 3-star restaurant. It's not anything that we wanted. We didn't even open up in hopes of getting a Michelin star.
Really?
Yeah, we wanted to be business owners, man. You know, we wanted to do what we wanted to do, and we wanted to open a business.
Yeah.
Hire all of our friends, you know, pay them
Yeah.
well, take care of them, and give people good places to work. And we're fortunate, you know, it came in the second year. So we're still in the guide for the first year. Fantastic. They awarded us 1-star Michelin in the second year.
Were you surprised that you
Stoked. Yeah, man. I mean, I was super surprised. You never know what's going to happen. Evolution of restaurants in the world, especially in New York City, it's tough. It's a really tough market to be in.
And how did that Michelin star like impact your business? Because a lot of restaurant owners that I speak to, and it's the stories I hear, it's like getting to the Michelin star is tough.
Yeah.
And your business is struggling really bad.
Yeah.
But once you get the Michelin star and you're on that list,
Yeah.
your business booms and you start actually making money. I don't know if that was the case.
I don't know about making money, but definitely helped us gain more traction and more viewership for the restaurant, which is huge, right? I mean, we went from just a small hole-in-the-wall restaurant in the Lower East Side, just trying to do our best work, now to being listed in Michelin category, right? Which is a big deal worldwide, right? And so we started seeing more people come in curious about what the restaurant was. You know, they see 63 Clinton, they never heard about it. They saw the pedigree and said, oh, this could be kind of interesting, right? And so we'd see people just start showing up, and it's like, okay, the struggle was there for sure. I think we weren't ready quite as soon as like that hit for the amount of people that were coming in, which is fine because people are like curious, like, why do they deserve a Michelin star, you know? And now you're like, oh my God, like the pressure's on now again.
Also, did you really feel the pressure once you got the star?
I think so again, because I didn't feel that pressure before because we were just a restaurant. We were just like, we're, you know, a neighborhood restaurant that was doing what we do. Again, we keep our heads down. We focus on how well we can do anything, whether it's cooking or service or being thoughtful through everything. And now you have a Michelin star and people are skeptical. They come in, why do you deserve this? My favorite restaurant down the street does everything better than you do. Why do you deserve one? And it becomes like, holy cow, like we did sign up for this, you know, grateful for it. No doubt, right? It's definitely changed our lives, changed our restaurant for sure. But wow, the pressure's on again. And that pressure, talking about 15 years ago, when we were in it, it's like, this isn't exactly what we wanted then. But now, like, I think now that we've had the star for 4 years now, that it's become a little more understanding of what our procedures, our standards are here. Always, again, it hasn't changed, always looking for excellence, right? Whether they take the star away, please don't. We will still show up and do our jobs, right? That's what we do for hospitality. You know, we're going to cook the best food we can. We're going to take care of our guests when they're in our presence as best we can. And that's it. And
you opened up a second restaurant, which is now, can we talk about that?
100%. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that was some rough times, man.
Yeah. You know? So how did that even come about?
You know, I think the idea, the audacity of us to even try to open another restaurant was just the curiosity, you know? We had something going on at 63 that's just kind of working really well with us. Yeah. We had employees that were with us for the duration of the restaurant being open, and we started growing. And for me, how can I promote a sous chef to becoming a head chef? How can I take a sommelier, make them a beverage director, right? And so we took people and gave them higher up positions, tried to pay them more and give them better livelihood, right? But that was like it. It was like growing, you know, as a business. You have an all-star team, you want them to keep going forward. And we were in a position to try to make that happen. And unfortunately it didn't work out, you know? I mean, opening a business is tough. Opening a restaurant is tougher, right? Yeah. And you know, it wasn't easy. We had a lot of struggles on there. But ultimately you know, when we decided to close, it was a lot of relief. It was like when you try so hard to make something work and it doesn't work, and you just know it's not in the cards.
Yeah.
There's so much stress of just like every day to day of like, how is this going to change?
Yeah.
Or what are we going to do here to make this work? And I think the first time I said it out loud to like Sam, I was like, we got to close this place, man. You know?
Whoa.
And he's like, his same reaction. It's like, whoa, like, why? What are we doing? What are we looking at? What are we forecasting? What's happening?
Yeah.
And, you know, just looking over the numbers and everything, man, it was like, okay, this is probably the best thing to do for us right now. It's just to cut ties.
Hold on. But how long were you open?
It was like 8 months, 7-8 months.
Oh my gosh. And when did you know that it was time to like?
I want to say like a month or two before we closed.
Dang.
Right? Which is just like getting over a tough summer. Whereas the summer in the city is always tough, right?
Yeah,
We know that busy season always comes in towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
If we're still not hitting those numbers at the end of the year, that's even worse, right?
Are you the P&L guy or Sam the P&L guy?
We both do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But looking at it like,
Yeah.
you know, after running 63 Clinton for many years,
Yeah.
like you look at it, you're like, all right, we got to fix some
We
things.
got to fix some things.
That's what you notice there month to month. And it's just
Right.
like
Yeah.
every month you're like, oh my
For
gosh.
sure.
Like,
And you know, I think we talked about this at the beginning of this, that restaurants don't get more popular, right? Throughout the years, restaurants start to decline a little bit, percentage by percentage. They don't get more popular. And for a fine dining restaurant, again, how many times can you come back to it, this and that? If you're not hitting your stride in the first 1 or 2 years, you're only declining anyways, right? And that was hard to swallow, man. That was like, okay, we tried something and it didn't work out. But, you know, a little bit wiser these days, a little bit more understanding about what I would do in the future that would be different.
Yeah. Well, if you could do it all over again, if you could go back in time, like what would you do different?
Different location, for sure. The Manhattan's so expensive, bro. You know, the rent out here is wild.
Yeah.
Different location of maybe more of a neighborhood. Lower East Side is a lot of people coming into it during the weekends. Friday,
It's like a weekend nightlife spot.
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's a tough place to hit numbers that you need to hit, right? And if you can't do that, you know, finding a smaller neighborhood, maybe in Brooklyn, something that people are just, you know, Tuesday, Wednesdays still can, you know, be busy, but not like crazy. And the rent's just a little bit kinder. Operational costs are just kinder.
Yeah.
You know, I think location was a big one for us. And maybe the concept a little bit, you know, I think.
What was the concept?
It was an a la carte restaurant. A lot of our favorite things here that wouldn't make the menu, or the things that we wanted to try and have fun with, would be over there. It was lighthearted. It was pretty serious on what we were cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just didn't grab the way we wanted it to grab. And again, if it doesn't do that, you know, if you don't have that kind of traction right away, it's tough to launch.
Yo, that's crazy how you knew like 6 months in that you're like, I think it's time to pull the plug. Because there's so many business owners, they don't know how to pull the plug. So they'll get another loan. They'll get another investor. They'll take out a personal loan. They'll whatever, you know? Like, how did you like have the courage to say, okay, enough is enough? I think it's time.
I mean, that's a good question, you know? Maybe what if I didn't? Maybe you're right. Maybe I just pulled loans or kept investing more money into this, you know? Whether we started to hemorrhage or maybe we could start making ground. Maybe then it did blow up at the end of it, and now, you know, maybe we pulled it too quickly. There's things that I think about still. But ultimately, seeing how much, like the trajectory where we were at the time didn't make sense to keep going. And, you know, those are the tough calls, man. As business owners, we have to make the tough calls. It comes down to us to do that. And the courage to, man, I don't know. It was a thing that I felt I had to do, right? As much as I kept like delaying it as much as possible. Let's try this. Let's maybe reorganize these things. Let's cut costs here. If you keep cutting costs, you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. You know, it's going to be a hollow shell of the idea that you originally had. And that's just worse for the guests and our employees and everything else. It's like, if we're not doing our best right now, again, it's not going to happen in the future. And yeah, man, those are the decisions that, you know, when you are the owner, you make.
Yo, that's, I mean, sad to see it close, but respect on you and Sam on making a tough decision.
Yeah.
And sooner than later.
For
I
sure.
think there's a lot of wisdom in that. I think some people just are so stubborn on the wrong things, and it's like false like self-belief.
Yeah.
Only if I work a little harder, it'll get better.
Yeah.
Only if I do this. It's
True.
like, I don't think we're in control of too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's only of our actions.
Yeah.
Well, we don't control the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can't control.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of us, especially in the industry, are a little controlling. We like the things that we like and all these things, but it's a lot of like wisdom and life learning that you don't have the control.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned you run a lot. I mean, I mentioned it too.
Because I want to go. We got to go. We should take one of these. For
Dude, I'm getting an MRI on my right knee.
What happened?
I don't even know what happened. After I ran my first half, my knee hasn't been the same.
Oh, shit.
I think it's like maybe a meniscus tear or something.
My gosh.
And it just hasn't been the same.
Whoa.
So it's like an inside pain, the inside of my knee, sharp pain. So whenever I still jog lightly.
Still pain?
Still pain. After my knee feels very pretty tender and weak.
You go to PT at all?
I did. Okay. I did PT. I've done like 2 different PTs. I've done I went to just see an orthopedic, but he didn't do an MRI. So this time I'm doing an MRI because I'm like, let's really see what's going on. Yeah, because I think there might be a partial tear.
Dang.
Because dude, I want to run. Yeah. I want to run. It's my knees. My cardio's there. Yeah. And I know I can go the distance. It's just my knee.
Yeah. When you feel that pain, that's when I tell anybody, if we go out running together, the moment you feel any pain, we're stopping. That's it. You can feel tired. Yeah. You can feel a little bit of cramps here and there. We'll hydrate you, whatever else. But as soon as you feel something's wrong, that's done. We're done. Because now we have to figure this out, right? We're going to take it slow, and that's lasting pain. That's tough, man.
Bro, so and I signed up for my first Spartan race in June.
That's
so I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to do it. Honestly,
that's wild, man.
But it's a 10K Spartan race, but I'm gonna just.
You're addicted now, though, right?
I mean, I guess we're addicts, right? Yeah. So people say, oh, you own a business, or you work in a restaurant, or you own a restaurant. Forget your health, forget it.
Right.
I feel like you and I and Sam now as well. Yeah. We're like proof that your health doesn't have to decline, right?
I wish somebody told us that earlier.
Okay, so but how? So people are gonna be like, okay, well, yeah, of course, it's because you own the restaurant, so you can work less and just work out more.
I don't think that. I think you have to prioritize your life and what is meaningful to you, what matters a little bit more. Yeah. I've stopped drinking as much. I stopped smoking as much. I stopped smoking weed as much. I don't smoke weed anymore or smoke cigarettes, period. Yeah. Drinking is touch and go with, being able to go out to wine tastings or celebrate with our guests that come in, sure. But I've cleaned up a lot of my life of these things that I didn't need because I needed to be a better athlete, because I wanted to be able to run further and not wake up feeling pretty crappy in the morning, And I started to say, what's more important to me? I wanted to get fitter. I wanted to run faster. I wanted to cycle harder. And I started giving up all these things because of this, right? I wish we had mentors in our life early that would tell us that, right? If you want to wake up and go to work and not feel hungover or bad or your back's aching, whatever else, you need to start taking care of your physical body, right?
I agree.
I don't know if, in these days, I don't know what kind of lawsuits you'll get from telling somebody to, take care of themselves. I don't know. But I think you can lead by good examples. Yeah. And that's something that I wish we heard early on or had mentors like that.
Yeah. So how do you structure your workouts now?
Oh man, I love endurance stuff, man. So you know me, I was even a couple hours ago, I woke up at 7 this morning, got to the track, did laps on my bike around Prospect Park, grab a quick coffee, came home, went to the doctor, talked about seeing a physician, came over here. But you make time for the things that matter in your life, right? And the things that don't matter to me is going out every night, getting hammered, sitting at the bar until it closes. That doesn't appeal to me anymore, right? Running 2 marathons or 3 marathons a year sounds really fun to me, you know, and people are like, that doesn't sound fun at all. That sounds terrible. That sounds garbage. But, you know, it's such a good way to see a country or see a city. You know, you run through it on foot and be able to see things that you normally wouldn't get to in an Uber or a subway or a car, whatever. I found that it was a really cool way to explore the world, is just go run it, you know, and see things on foot.
Okay, so how many races have you done?
Wow.
You can't even count?
It's a lot. I mean, a lot of local races. I love doing the New York Roadrunner stuff in the city. I love volunteering for those too, because if you're a runner out there, people are always supporting you. You know, they're making sure you're safe, they're handing out water, whatever else. And sometimes you just got to give back, man. And when I'm volunteering, I love it so much. I feel the vibe, man. You get to give back to people, cheer them on. And the running community is so good like that, you know? Very, very rarely do you hear like smack talk. You know, everyone's on their own journey, man. You know?
I felt the support, like Asher.
Support,
like,
oh, dude.
He helped me. He ran. He wasn't even in the race. He just ran with me, like the second half of my half marathon. He's like, dude, I'm just gonna run with you. He like found me.
My guy.
He's like, all right, let's go. And he's like keeping me on track. He's like, all right, you just did, you know, you did like 8:30 this mile. How you feeling? All right, cool. Let's just maintain it.
That's the love that you get from like runners and athletes outside of our industry. They're industry adjacent, you know. I love it even more when we're all in the industry and we start talking about going out for runs. Kelly Kent at Crown High, the run group.
Are you part of that group?
I'll go now and then for sure. And I love what she hosts and puts on. It's so important to get our industry together, right?
Dude, that didn't exist 15 years ago.
No way, dude. I would be so much faster these days. But that's important. It's not just the miles, but it's like it's community. And I think that's what she's done really well, and hugely supportive and proud of her for that. But we still have to think about our own community now and going forward. Like, what are we doing to talk to our employees about not just physical health, but mental health, right? And
don't you think they're correlated?
100%.
Like, I think 100%. People forget physical part, physical health is tied in with your mental health,
man. 100%. And that's not talked to people enough, right? Those should be open subjects. Those for me, maybe not in a workspace, right? I don't know what kind of violations I'm breaking here. But I think, you know, most times people see me out running and cycling. It's like, how can I get into this? Or like, why do you do this? And I tell them it's a lot of that mental and physical health. It's decompression of stress. It's turning your phone off and focusing on you for a moment. You know, it's not selfish to think about you for an hour a day. You know, you have a wife, you have a kid, you have a restaurant. How many employees do you have? It's a ton. But for 1 hour of the day, you can start focusing on yourself. That's amazing. And you can only be a better person when you feel good about yourself. You can start broadcasting that to everyone else around you.
Did you see like a connection with you, like starting to like run and cycle? How does that relate to running a business?
It's the mental endurance, I think, you know, it's being able to have the grit to keep showing up and doing it for, when I run, it's a lot for myself, but you know, same with business owning. It's a lot for who I am as a person and what I need out of it. I can correlate the two. I think they're both very hard, you know, to do. I think we're in for the long haul of either, you know, overcoming these really tough challenges that make you a stronger person, right? Go run, you know, a 26-30 miler. It's not easy, right?
Bro. No, right now it sounds impossible.
It is very impossible though, right? You can do this. And same with owning a business, right? You put yourself in these hard situations to know that you can find a way out of it and like come out stronger. And you open a second business or a third business. It's not easy. But you know from the past experiences in your life that you can do it, right? And the same thing with running, man. It's a lot. So
when's your next marathon or next race?
Oh, I have a lot this year. I'm doing GFNY this year, which is cycling. It's kind of like a cycling marathon through upstate. It is the same duration and distance, not of a marathon, but equivalent to being on a bike. Last year was 85 miles with about 8,000 feet of elevation change.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You climbed like 2 mountains.
Yeah,
in that,
that's
you know
crazy.
what I mean? It took me just over 5 hours. In my first marathon time, it took me 5:20. Right.
Wow.
Which those are pretty equal.
Yeah.
I've got my marathon time down sub 4 these days, which feel good. But that cycling marathon race crushed me, bro. That was so hard. It was harder than a marathon. It was just mentally tough. Everything about it was hard. And so that's coming up in 2 months. I'm excited to get back on it. And I've trained all the way through the winter and feel good right now about it. But come race day, you never know what happens. I'm also running New York City Marathon. This is going to be my 5th one.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to try.
How are you getting in?
I can't tell anybody. I can't. Hey, I can't tell anybody.
Okay.
It's not easy, but I'm happy to see people do it though. You know,
Yeah.
I'm stoked to hear people say I'm running my first. I'm stoked to hear people say I'm running my 10th. It's an amazing thing to share our city with people.
Yeah.
To see the city on foot, celebrate life with people. I heard last year was 2 million people in audience.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
That's insane.
55,000 runners and millions of people out watching,
Yeah, that's
celebrating. It's the biggest block party in our city.
Yeah.
In a day that no one like qualms each other. You're human to human that day. You're a New Yorker that
Seriously.
day. And it's such a good day.
Yeah, you can really feel the love.
You feel the love, man. And like hours after the race, everyone's like back to being like just grumpy and whatever else. But for those hours that you're running New York City, it's the biggest vibes. And I'm also running this for the first time, the Bordeaux Marathon this year. Do you know about this at all?
No.
So Bordeaux Marathon is a party. It's a marathon. Yes, you have to run this. But it's also a party. And
How so?
every couple of kilometers, red wine, oysters, charcuterie. I know, cheese.
Dude,
I know.
what the heck?
You are running through the countryside of Bordeaux, getting to stop at all these aid stations that just have food, and people are just...
So towards the end, you're just horny and just hammered?
Bro, oysters and red wine, man. Yeah, the French way. I'm stoked. It's a party. It seems so much fun. There's very few runners that take it seriously and try to hit a time, because it's just about enjoying the day.
Yeah.
You know, and to go out and run with a bunch of people and eat and drink together, it's like all of my favorite things in one. Will I finish the race? I'm not sure yet, right? Will I finish? I'll stumble in. But it just sounds so much fun, man.
Dude, that race sounds like it was made for you,
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
if I think about it.
Food and wine and running. I'm like, it couldn't get better than that.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine like open hand service while,
open hand service, passing out cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the French way. But I'm really stoked. This year has been really tough for us with the business and personal and everything else.
Yeah.
But there are always things to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's next for you and Sam?
That's a good question, man. You know, our lease here ends in 10 more years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wait, you extended or?
We have a 10 plus 5. We've been here for 5 years, you know, and we'll see. I mean, again, anything can happen in restaurants. You know this. I don't want to jinx it any.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, let's keep going with this and see what we can change here to make it better for our guests and for our team to work in. What kind of improvements we can do here. And then for the future, I'm not sure. I mean, is it opening something more casual where I could just retire in and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
I love having a Michelin-starred restaurant. Is it sustainable for the rest of my life? I'm not sure, you know?
Yeah.
Will I stay in the city? It's getting impossible to live here. You know how expensive it is. 10% battery.
Okay.
It's just so expensive to live in the city and make strides. I'm not sure where else I would live because I love New York City so much.
Yeah,
It's the best city in the world.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions. I'm not even sure, man. But this year I need a nap. I just want a nap after last year. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So.
No, I hear you. Bro, thanks for your time and catching up, man.
Yeah, dude.
And we gotta, you know, and we'll catch up again without the cameras and stuff.
No, we're taking one of the cameras with us. So we can do a run together on
Yo,
that.
man. Because my goal is to run a full marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, New York City for sure, but
For sure.
if it's like Jersey, I'll do Jersey, you know, but just to get it in. But it's my knee
Yeah.
that I want to fix. Then I'm in it.
Yeah. You take care of that, man. We'll
Yeah.
get some miles in.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
yeah. I'm always trying to do New York City. So when you're in, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it together.
And when it's good, I want to start. We'll get some runs in together.
Yeah.
No, seriously, we'll take one of the cameras.
Bro, can you get a bike already? Stop messing around.
Wait, oh yeah, the bike wouldn't hurt my knee because
Less.
I'm biking right now.
Yeah,
I
less.
bike for 20 minutes after my lifting session because I can't jog as long.
Yeah.
So I'll do like 10-minute jog and I'm like, dude, my knee, and
Yeah.
I'll just jump on the bike.
Bike's better. Rowing's good for you.
Yeah.
But anything that's less impact. Cycling can be impactful on the knees, but bro, gotta take care of the knee. Go swim.
Yeah.
Once the girl's old enough to get in the pool, you can start doing pool stuff together. But yeah, man, good seeing you.
Bro,
don't wait so long to like catch up next time.
I know. So where can people find you?
Don't find me. Don't come looking for me. You know, that's it. You know where to find me.
63 Clinton. Check him out. 1 Michelin-star tasting menu only. Amazing restaurant. I'm gonna come check him out as well.
Too kind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. See you again soon.